3, 2, 1, and we're live again. Like to apologise for anybody that wanted to come watch the podcast yesterday.
Don't yell. Whatever you do, don't yell.
Don't yell.
Your microphone is atrocious if you have a high tone. Talk calmly.
Talk calmly, softly, peacefully.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like, coming live from the Thunderdome. My name is Nico of War. You're doing that, it doesn't work out. It sounds like you're literally fucking watching static television.
Oh, God. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Like, everything sounds fine on my end. It's just, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, alright. Well, sorry about yesterday. Yesterday was, had a lot of stuff to do, and yesterday also, too, I've already pre-booked my ticket to go watch Endgame, and that started at 7.
There wasn't anything going on. He wanted to schedule it for early, and then he realised I could probably get more prime seats if I leave earlier. So so it wasn't on. But here we are on Friday.
I was going with a mate of mine. I promised we'll go out and have a couple of drinks and stuff before we went to the movies. So I was like, oh shit. I forgot that I already promised this, and I forgot that I got the podcast on Thursday. So, sorry about that. Well, we've got the podcast up today, and I thought, well, might as well do it today. It's a Friday. End of the week. No one's got work tomorrow. Everyone's relaxed. Everyone's calm. Everyone's having a couple of beers, and resting back. So I thought we might do it today. So, yes. Well, how was your week?
How was my week? Well, we ended the podcast for the week. Then it was fucking Easter.
Then it was Easter.
Yeah, so I couldn't do anything over the Easter weekend because everything was shut. Then come Monday, I got my coffee machine, so I was extremely happy about that. Got an espresso coffee machine during their subscription plan. So $1 for the machine, $60 for your membership plan, and the membership plan. Every time you pay $60 every month, you can use that exact full 60 in store, just buying coffee and shit. So essentially, they're losing money on the coffee machine and gaining it on the coffee. If you know what I mean?
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was told it was a pyramid scheme, and I'm like, no, it's just it's good marketing because they know the machine will last years, and you'll spend double that in coffee later on because 10 coffee things is $10.
Yeah, because you're going to be spending more on coffee over the years, especially if you want to have a different roast.
Well, you're spending what, like 3,600 or whatever if you're over a course of a year. So
yeah,
they're making money if you're having a coffee at least once a day. But if you're like having 2 or 3 a day, fucking hell. Yeah, see, that's how they get you. So that came Monday, and then we had a war.
A war?
You know, Anzac Day? We had some people decided to have a war a couple 100 years ago. So that put everything on a public holiday yesterday.
Well, see, for people that don't know what Anzac Day is and is not from Australia, Anzac Day is a day where we respect our troops. We remember the
Australians and the shit fuckers.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the Anzacs are the Australian and the sheep fucking militaries combined, or known as the Australian New Zealand. I think it's
New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand, Australian New Zealand Army Corps, but it also includes Navy and Air Force and all the armed servicemen. But then at the moment there was a lot of stuff to go on with like threats that we couldn't even go to, like Australians couldn't go to Gallipoli to into the memorials and stuff for the Anzac Day service, and it's just because of a lot of the threats and stuff, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I heard there was a number of planned bombings and shit by ISIS, and they got foiled. Like they really thought this one day every year is something they can get away with.
Yeah, it's kind of an important day, especially for us. So us Australians. What else did I do this week? This week I was, because of the Anzac Day thing, I was looking at some old heritage stuff to do with my grandfather and my other grandparents and great grandparents, and I was because I had the week off, so I've pretty much been playing just games non-stop. I ended up picking up Days Gone today, so I'll be playing that sometime this week. So I'll give everyone a rundown next week of what I think of it.
They're on PlayStation, isn't it?
Yeah, PlayStation 4, yeah. It looks pretty good, and I'm hoping I'll probably find some enjoyment in it. And then, what else? I watched Avengers Endgame, which I won't spoil for anyone, but it was pretty good. There was one thing I'm a little disappointed with, but,
there was no Ant-Man and Thanos anal action.
I saw that joke on there. It's like Ant-Man goes into an ant and crawls up Thanos' ass. I'm like, yeah, that's...
And
that
punches his grape with a prostate.
Yeah. No. Well, I assure you that did not happen. It was kind of sad, but oh well. But
no, I walked in the toy world today, and I'm like, hey, look at this Avengers Endgame shit. There's a Thanos thing, and I'm like, I wonder if they've got a model of Thanos bent over with Ant-Man going up his ass. And
God.
Everyone in the staff looked at me, and I'm like, what? Oh, right, toy world. That means kids.
It's a toy world.
Okay.
There's kids around.
Sorry, and I scurried over to the Warhammer section.
I do highly recommend people, if they haven't seen it, go watch it. It's quite good, but make sure you pee like 50 times before you watch it, because it is a long movie. But it didn't feel like it went that long. Like Avengers Endgame was surprisingly, like, it was entertaining from start to finish. It really didn't feel like a 3-hour long movie. It didn't, but it definitely.
So I got a question for you. Is it a case? So is it good? Like, we're going from a scale of good all the way up through the numbers. The fucking Captain Marvel being the worst. Like, where does it sit?
Civil War.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, probably better than Civil War. They did a very, very good job with it. So like it's like a lot of critics have been saying that it was, the first one was Thanos' movie. And this one is very much, this one's very much the Avengers movie. And I said, yeah, like they are spot on. Like that's not really a spoiler. It's just a general summary. But seeing as though the trailers were very vague, they never really said much for good reasons. So I will leave it at that. But I do highly recommend, if anybody hasn't watched it, go watch it. It's worth your money. It is very
Hey, dude, can you do me a favour? Can you go out there and shoot that fucking dog?
Believe it or not, it's not my dog.
Or can you go outside and shoot your neighbour's dog then?
No.
Take a firecracker up its ass? The joke, Twitch, I'm joking, I don't mean cruelty to animals. Animals are our friends.
Animals are our friend. They very
Except
much
if you're in New Zealand, then they're your sex toys.
Oh
but
God. Alright,
yeah.
let's...
So, yeah, the rest of my week was, up to now, It's been alright. Played a bit of Space Wolves on my mobile phone, which is a turn-based Warhammer game. It's very similar to... oh, man, it literally is a turn-based game. You've got your character, and you have other characters every now and then, and you move like 5 squares forward, you turn, and you can attack. So it's all turn-based. It's a really detailed turn-based game, but it's set in the 40k universe. So I quite enjoyed that. It's a good game to play on the bus while you're waiting to do nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into these topics, eh?
Yeah, well, we might as well start with PUBG this week, because PUBG's had 2 stories this week.
I laughed at that one.
Yes. Well, the PUBG's been in the news twice. We'll start, like, one of them I'm sitting there thinking, I think it's just a marketing campaign of just pretty much, please guys, come back to PUBG. Look at how much we've sold. Clearly, it's great. But we'll start with the other one first. Okay, let me put the link in the chat for people to read. There we go. Alrighty. Now. Oh yeah, PUBG is no longer banned in Nepal.
Is it no longer, or it is now?
No longer. It was.
I thought the story was banned. That's what I thought it was.
It was banned in April 11th. I can't remember why they banned it, but I kind of gather they might have it in the article. So I might quickly read a bit of the article to find out what the go was. Update. Nepal's Supreme Court has issued a temporary order to halt the ban of PUBG. Cheers, the Himalayan Times. Okay. Which has been banned by the government on April 11th. The court issued the order in response to a petition from a group of lawyers sent to the Prime Minister and argues that PUBG is a freedom protected by the Constitution, and that the government needs to first prove that the ban is reasonable. In this case, the Supreme Court determined that it is not, and that maintaining the ban would infringe on people's freedom. Original story was PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is banned in Nepal, effective today, according to a report from Kathmandu Post. The move comes after the Nepal Metropolitan Crime Division filed a public interest litigating with the Kathmandu District Court on Wednesday. A day later, the Nepal Telecommunications Authority has called for all ISPs and mobile service providers to block the game. We received a number of complaints from parents, schools and school associations regarding the effect of the game on children. Right. So it's the pretty much age-old argument where video games are bad for children. Violent video games are bad. We need to ban them.
Sounds like it.
Oh my god. It's just...
Yeah, it's not like games have age ratings or anything. Like, that's just crazy talk, eh?
Don't get me wrong. Like PUBG's not good. Like, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good for a while. Like, the dev team has sort of... No offense to them, they have given up. Like, they just have.
Well, hell, the head developer fucking quit, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he quit.
He moved on.
Do other games.
Yeah.
He's still a part of the company, but he's not doing PUBG anymore. But what was it? But you know, even if you don't agree with my point of view, right? You should be able to at least play the game, for Christ's sake. Like believe it or not, it's not that bad when it comes to like violence and shit. So I don't know why people complain. It's like back in high school, I wanted to do a fundraiser. Back in high school, I wanted to do a Halo tournament fundraiser for a kid that was a kid in my year that had a brain tumor, and every teacher was on board. The principal was on board. The deputy principal, even though the deputy principal was a dickhead. Right, he was even on board. All the students were on board. They were loving it. They were even donating their Xboxes into the tournament, so it would make things easier for us, so we can organise this Halo tournament. And then, all of a sudden, we had one specific teacher that turned around and went, "Nah, we can't have kids playing this game. You need to bring in. You need to start making out letters from parents that are signed to state that they're allowed to play this game because it's M rated." Like, okay, so we did permission slips. We actually did permission slips that we said to the kids that paid the money. So, right, okay, we'll have to give you these letters. If you can't get the letters back to us, permission slips, we'll give you your money back. Then we started doing that. We accumulated like $150 in the first week. It was incredible, and it was only like $10 entries.
Yeah.
So we had 15 people just put $10 in and wanting to do it, and we thought it was a great idea. Anyway, we even had a local store that wanted to give us a rock band prize, like drum kit and everything. We thought it was a brilliant idea. We had everything working in our favour, and then this specific teacher again turned around and said, "Nah, this just shouldn't happen in general. The game is way too violent. I don't want it in the school at all." And everyone caved, and we were forced to cancel the fucking. The
thing is, she's not the principal or deputy principal, so she can just take a sugar-coated fuck off the end of your dick.
But the thing is, though, is that she was so vocal about it to the point where the principal ended up turning around, getting viciously pissed off and getting annoyed with it, and going, "Look, fuck it, all right, we'll just cancel it." Right, just to make her happy, and it got to the point where
Sounds like
she
a
came
good
up
principle.
she came up to myself and my mates that were the ones that were organising this, and first thing I turned around and responded to her was she's like, well, she said, sorry, I had to say something because the game is just too violent. Could you understand that? I said, no, I don't understand it. I said, you clearly don't play video games to know what violence is. I said, how about me and my friend actually make a montage reel of some really violent video games, and then we'll show you some gameplay of Halo, and then you might change your fucking mind then. No, I won't. It's too violent. It's just too violent. The guns and like shooting people, it's just too violent. I'm against it altogether. All right, that's fine. But guess what, miss? Go fuck yourself. I had no fucks with her. None. Zilch. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you know, these people sitting there going on about like the violence in video games and this and that, and it's stupid. Absolutely stupid. I don't get it. I don't.
Hell, studies show that violent tendencies with people who play it tend to go down because they get their fix from a video game.
Yeah, that's right. That is very true. Yeah, people with violent tendencies do get it down.
That's not scientific evidence, even though it is scientific evidence with multiple studies.
Yeah, that's it. That is very much true. And then we'll go to the second article about PUBG this week. And it was about PUBG making PUBG made $920 million in 2018, most of it from PC. No shit, most of it was from PC, seeing as though PC was the main fucking market. It was only on PC for like nearly a year before it came out on Xbox. So no shit. And it was the only sort of battle royale at that point in time that you could buy. So, yeah, I think this is just a marketing campaign to show off their statistics and like how much they've made. So they're like, please come back to PUBG. We've lost like 90% of our fan base and players. Please come back. We don't want you to leave. We don't want you to leave. But
they can keep their game. I don't want it no more.
Oh, mate, I even uninstalled it off my PC. Like, it's just... Like, I used to just have it on my PC and thought, I guess these days it's probably just a game now. If I jump in, have a couple of matches, have a bit of fun with it. You know, and it's just... That was it, really. Like, you know, and had a couple of mates that still... Well, I still have a couple of mates that still play it. But, I just turn around and say to them, look, I'll play a game with once or twice, and, when things are a bit down and I've got nothing else to play and I want to shoot shit. But see, yeah, I generally think this is just a marketing stint.
Yeah,
That's just what it seems. Whether it's true or not is two different stories though as well. But I thought they made, but I'm pretty sure they've made over. I think they've made over $1 billion all up since launch. I'm fairly sure. But like I remember PUBG back when it was in its peak. I as soon as it came out, like the beta properly came out, like early access came out on Steam for everybody to play. It was just like everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted to play it. Everyone was seeing early access gameplay footage of it before it came on Steam, and everybody wanted to play it. Everybody, even myself. Like, this looks awesome. This looks great. And then as soon as it went on early access on PC, I bought it. I had a really shit running PC at that point, but I bought it because I just desperately wanted to play it.
And then it just all went down from there.
Yeah, it went downhill from there. Which kind of sucks because it's got, like, at its core, there's a good game there. There's a good and fun game there, but it's dragged down by a whole multitude of other problems. And you look at like when it comes to in-game things, like you look at like items and accessories and stuff like that, it's just oversaturated, right? It's like, oh, we want to try and beat esports. Like, we want to be an esports. Like, you know,
Yeah, they had all those like esports teams shit sprayed away with like Pachinki and that. I didn't like that. It kind of took me out of the immersion.
The thing is, I don't like battle royale tournaments, to be brutally honest with you, because it just doesn't really work. It just doesn't. Like, you go on by a point system. That's just, you know, you need to have a spreadsheet to figure out. And then it's not like something like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or, you know, like simple FPSs like that are very easy to work on.
Mm.
And very easy to watch and very easy to follow. You know, like anybody that doesn't play video games or hasn't played Counter-Strike before, for instance, if they sat down and watched a tournament, they would work out after the first match how to play the game.
Yeah.
Like how the game works. It's very simple. You know, obviously they won't get how, like, obviously like the intricate shit like nades and nade positions and like bullet spray and this and that. But
the thing is, you learn from how the crowd reacts if something happens, and you go, oh, okay, so even though that looks mundane, that seemed to set the crowd off. Okay, that must be something good. And then next time you go around, you start cheering the same shit.
Well, yeah, like, see, for me, like, when I was playing Counter-Strike competitive, like, hard, you know, I used to watch, like, a humongous amount of the, like, esports. You know, I used to watch, you know, all the big tournaments and stuff like that. And, yeah, it's just, but now it's like Counter-Strike even itself has sort of lost interest with people. But, but PUBG, though, again, like, it's trying to hang on to what it used to be, and it just isn't. And I think it's a content problem, because they keep adding and adding and adding and adding more content, and they don't primarily focus on fixing the bugs. They need to fix the bugs. They just do.
Yeah.
You know, and then, like, the one thing I disagreed with what what's his name, Brendan Green, when he said, "Oh, we need So when someone said, "How about you know, just primarily work on fixing the game instead of bringing out content?" They go, "Oh, well, like, we have a team that does content, and when we have a team that does primarily patch fixing."
Yeah, it sounds like one team's bigger than the other. Maybe you should move stuff around.
Yeah, and then it's like, so why can't we do both? It's like, because if you do both, more bugs are going to appear, more problems are going to appear, more balancing issues are going to appear. You need to work on primarily fixing your game now. It's not like the people that create the content don't have, you know, the skills to work on patching and fixing when it comes to code. They all know code. They all know how to do these things. It's not like you can't turn around and say, all right, guys, everybody's going to be working on patch fixing and fixing and balancing the game for the next, let's just say, 6 months. We will not worry about any more maps, any more guns, any more like clothing or anything like that at all, till we get this right. And I think if they want to the day they get it right will be the day they might get some people back, but it will never be as big as it used to be, sadly. So that's my honest opinion on PUBG these days.
What also didn't help was, you know, disrespect and all those sort of streamers leaving it.
True, yeah. That really didn't help their case in the slightest.
People who brought people in, well, the people only play if the streamers are playing it.
But yeah, the streamers aren't playing that. They're playing freaking either Fortnite or Apex Legends or whatever. So they're not playing any of that.
You know what no one's playing?
What's that?
Battlefield Royale.
Wasn't that a shit show?
I don't even know why they fucking bothered, honestly.
That was a shit show. That was dreadful. It's like, we have prototype helicopters in this. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. In World War II. All right. Okay, we'll go with that then. We'll go with it. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
No.
EA and, you know, destroying history. And it's like, well, it's an alternative take. And I'm like, well, you know, Battlefield was known as a historical, really accurate, normally based game.
Well, not accurate to a T, but the primary shit is fairly much, realistic. Like at its core, it's there's a lot of realism to their what they do. But we can go to another article as well. It's just pretty much another quiet week this week. It's just I think there's just going to be quiet weeks for a while till E3, I suppose, because E3 is not far away now.
It's only like 2 months, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 months away. So it's not far away. But
not good for us because we'll have 8 weeks of slowness, but
yeah, we'll have 8 weeks of slowness, and then we'll have 4 months of just intense fucking news. So much shit to talk about. Hell, E3 week for us is going to be just insane. We've got I personally am planning on doing a full week of reacting to streams and stuff like that, and reacting to conferences and stuff, but not every conference. We're not going to do some of the smaller ones. I personally won't do PC Gamers stream because it's not really good. But I will personally be doing the bigger ones, like the Sony. Actually, no, Sony's not doing one this year. So
yeah, Sony's not in it this year, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's why they're doing their crappy little freaking 20-minute bloody videos every freaking month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever the bloody hell they're doing. Excuse me. Microsoft will probably watch. Who else? Bethesda will probably
get your
watch.
Game of War fix.
Sorry?
Get your Game of War fix. See if there's a new Gears of War coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be getting that fix right on. I'm actually gonna pre-order that at some point, and I'm going to be streaming that. For people that don't know, I will be streaming Gears of War 5 when it comes out.
The old Xbox will get powered on for the first time in years.
No, I can just get it on PC, mate. I just go to the Microsoft store and play it on PC. Anyway, we'll get to the article that I just put up.
You sure it's going to be on the Microsoft store and not Epic?
Well, actually, I'd probably prefer it if it was on the Epic store. If it was... I prefer the Epic store over the Microsoft store any day of the week.
Yeah, Microsoft needs to get some,
They need to fix this.
Pay someone. They need to pay someone to fucking sort this shit out.
For
me, I hated Xbox as soon as they added that fucking tile shit.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Joker's final smash crashing some switches. This kind of.
When they say Joker final smash, is that like Joker from DC or?
No. Joker from Persona 5.
Oh.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's latest DLC character Joker from Persona 5 is freezing players' Nintendo Switches when they use his final smash to end a classic mode match. This issue was confirmed by IGN's own Zachary Ryan as he Switch froze 3 times when finishing a classic mode match with Joker's final smash. Excuse me. Where was I? Yep. There are also many other examples, including a Reddit thread posted by Cubing Vain Glory that show the freeze happening. It appears this glitch is only occurring in classic mode and only with Joker, and does not appear to impact any other aspect of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as of the writing. I'm surprised IGN...
That sort of stuff... See, a lot of that stuff, that's not new to gaming at all. Take a look back at Sega and Atari and back in those days. That shit never got patched out. Some of that shit, if it was brought into the game, it stayed in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had to release a whole new cartridge.
Yeah,
if you were lucky.
But even then, they'll just turn around and go, well, that's the game. If it's broken, we can't fix it.
Good luck now.
Yeah, good luck now, yeah.
You open the packaging.
Every time.
Oh, that's dirty. Dirty.
Well, these days, as soon as you buy a game at the store, you put it into your PlayStation, your Xbox, or hell, even if you buy it on Steam, it always has a day one bloody patch. Straight away. It's like, well, what's the Like, what's the point in buying a full game if you're just going to have a complete game if it's going to need a patch as soon as it drops? But that's a problem. That's a big problem. But then again, like the day one patches do help fix a lot of little things. So I don't mind. I don't really mind it. It's just like these days you can't just go and buy a brand new game and expect it to be complete. Like now you gotta have to fucking spend an extra $60 on or $50-$60 on a season pass. If you're lucky, sometimes you're spending about $30 on the season pass. What else? Then you've got also some of the extras that you want to get and this and that. It's just you got some games with loot box crap and it's all fun and all fucking games. It's great.
Yeah, loot box. Woohoo!
Mate, loot boxes are our future. Microtransactions are our future.
You want to get past this loading screen? It'd be like 2 cents, thank you. Games will come out for free, right? Full AAA games will come out for free, but like every level will cost $1. There'll be 6 levels or 60 levels.
Yep.
Or there might be 50 levels, yeah? And then the other $10 is a cent every loading screen. Every time you die, it will cost. It'll be that future, and you know what's going to fucking happen? I'll be glad I got back into freaking mini war gaming because you can't monetize a dice game. I just realised what I said. You can't monetize a dice game.
I was about to say, hang on a minute, but you can. But you can monetize a dice game.
Casinos!
Yeah, that's right, mate. Get those slot machines going. Get them going. They love it. Jesus Christ. Friggin', righto, we'll go on to the next article. Which I'm actually kind of excited for, because I remember playing this as a kid. I don't remember finishing it, but I do remember playing it as a kid. Did you hear that the old original cel-shaded shooter 13 is getting a remake? Or you don't?
Isn't that the one where it's essentially you shot the president?
I can't remember. I haven't played it since I was
XIII, isn't it? The game?
Yeah.
Yeah, XIII. Yeah, it's a first-person shooter developed by Ubisoft Paris, published by Ubisoft for most platforms except Mac OS. Oh. What's the storyline for it? Self-action sequences, the game characters, assassination of President of the United States.
Oh, yeah. So you would, right?
And you've been branded. Yeah, I played a demo for it back in the day before I could afford games. I just played demo discs all the time.
Oh, yeah, so did I. Because my parents couldn't afford to buy me games all the time on my PC. And, my mum and dad had, a huge stack of, PC gamer, demo discs.
Yeah. It was cheaper to buy a magazine, right? And read that magazine a dozen times and play the demos a dozen times. Yep. I was so good at Star Wars Jedi Knight Outcast. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I used to...
And then it was nothing like it.
I used to, play, the same mission or, an Old Ghost Recon game, over and over and over and over
again. Did that for Armour Cold War. First Armour.
Yeah, and then, what was it? And then the same thing, I remember it was one of the original sort of, FIFA games back here, when I was really young.
Well, essentially, if you play one level of FIFA, you've played it all. And
the thing is, though, is that, the game only gave you, from start to half-time. That's all you got, from start to half-time, and then that was the demo. It's oh, okay, but I used to play the living shit out of it. They didn't even give you a full match.
No. Oh, yeah, Age of Empires, Age of Empires. I'm honestly wanting to download Age of Empires 1. Try that.
I'm actually looking forward to the remaster of Age of Empires 2.
Age of Empires 2's already been remastered, man. It's coming out a second time.
No, they're doing a proper remaster or remake, something like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's going to be like their alpha footage. See, Age of Empires 2 had really good alpha footage where you could actually have characters climbing gates and that, and then they ditched it.
It's like a proper ground-up remaster. Not like last time, it was just like a nice texture pack. This one, it's just a proper full-scale remaster. So I reckon it'll be probably pretty good.
But yeah, no, 13 was a pretty good game from back in the day. It was on PC, PS2, and GameCube.
Yes, it was.
Power up.
Well, yeah, a remake of a PS2 era shooter, 13, is coming this November. 13, based on the 1984 graphic novel of the same name, released on PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC in 2003, and didn't quite set the world on fire, but the cel-shaded look meant to emulate its comic book roots, helped the game stand out at the time. Now, 16 years later, the game is being remade for modern audiences, coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and Mac on November 13. Previously published by Ubisoft, the remake is being handled by French developer Microids. I don't know if I pronounced that right. And developed by PlayMagic. They release a couple prototype images that imply the cel-shaded look will be making a return, but the teaser trailer sets the tone for the story more than anything else.
I wonder if David Duchovny, fuck, I can't pronounce his last name. He was from X-Files. I wonder if he's going to be voice acting it. Because he was the main character, or the protagonist.
Yeah. I don't know. David Duchovny. Yeah, well, they did say that he was going to be coming back to play the main character again.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, they did ask him, but they haven't got a response yet. Which I don't see why not. I don't see why he wouldn't. I think if they paid him enough, he'll do it. So, like David Duchovny, I'm not saying David Duchovny's not... like he's a low price actor. Or I'm just saying, like, if they, it's just any actor really. If you paid them enough money, they'll do it. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to actually, play the remake. I think it might be pretty good, especially seeing as cel shaded games like Borderlands and stuff like that have been doing very well. So, and like there is a market for cel shaded games. So I think the game will probably do very, very well. So, especially a lot of people that haven't heard of the game but they've played Borderlands and stuff and see a new cel-shaded game, they might turn around and go, "Oh, this might be pretty good," which I reckon will be pretty good. So that'll be something I'll be definitely looking forward to when we get to see a bit more of it later on down the track. Now, this is partly movie news, but it also has relation to a video game franchise, so I thought we might as well talk about how this was hinted at this week by Kathleen Kennedy, that they are contemplating doing a Knights of the Old Republic movie. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't read any of these articles, so I've been pretty lucky all week dealing with that stuff.
That's all right. Well, apparently...
See, I kind of like doing that, is knowing the articles, unless I found the articles, and then me pointing my unknown opinion upon it. I don't know. I like that. I don't have to do any fucking work, and I can just do my fucking opinion on it, and that's always good. I'm just lazy, I hope everyone understands that.
Well, someone had an interview with Kathleen Kennedy, I think was on a red carpet somewhere. I can't remember what it was.
Is that the Muppet in charge of Star Wars from Disney, isn't she? Yeah. Oh, I hope they get rid of her, honestly.
Well, they tried to, but then all of a sudden, she's back for another 5 years. It's like,
she fucked. She skull fucked the frozen head of Disney herself.
Yeah. No, I agree. I very much agree.
Who did she fucking suck? Honestly. Like, you're doomed to be kicked out, and somehow you come back for 5 more years. Like, when the entire community hates him.
Well, that's Ryan Johnson, right? Ryan Johnson fucked up episode 8, like it was going out of style. But yeah, no, they asked her about like if they were, she was thinking about doing anything to do with the Old Republic, and she said they've been in talks and maybe contemplating and throwing ideas of them maybe doing one. And to be brutally honest, I don't want a movie. I would like a show. A live action show. That's what I would like to see. The Old Republic universe from the games itself, the story is very in-depth, very detailed. There's a lot of rich story in that time period, right? You could make probably a good, solid 10-season show out of it.
Oh, no. I can see what's happening. They're going to do this, and then Star Wars Episode 9 is the return of Raven. Darth Revan, yeah. Character.
No, did you see the trailer for the new...
No, but I can just see, like, they're going to make that a live-action movie if they do a movie or TV show, right? They'll somehow bring up, like, Knights of the Old Republic characters that we thought were dead. Come back, like fucking the Solo movie with fucking...
Well,
what's his name?
It's a bit hard when the Knights of the Old Republic was well before even Anakin was even thought of.
Well, think about it, right? They could say the Force kept them alive. They're fucking butchering Star Wars, dude. I kind of like...
Well, then again, they are bringing back Palpatine. They've brought back Palpatine for 9. They announced that in the trailer and at the trailer reveal.
Wait. What?
Yeah, they announced. If you watch the trailer, you hear Palpatine's laugh at the end, and he came out on stage afterwards and said, "Yes, he's in the movie."
So you're telling me he got Force lightning, thrown off the Death Star, and survived it going supernova? Stayed dormant for 40 years, and is now coming back.
Now, see, there's a theory behind it.
Is he now like? Is he just jerky at this point? Like, is he just, instead of looking like an old ball sack, he now looks like an old piece of jerky?
Now, I'm gonna say this: there is a theory behind this, right? It's from the extended universe, and by looks things, they're going to take it from there. In the extended universe, he had clones of himself. So I think that they're going to go that route.
So is that the case? But if that's the case, why?
I don't know. Personally, I think
they bring back Darth Maul. He's got he's a Cabal leader or whatever, cartel leader. Got fucking robotic legs that look so fucking funny. I laughed when I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh no, Disney, no, just.
Personally, they had a good character, a good enemy originally in 7 that they hyped up in 7, and then they ruined in 8. They could have just.
It was different directors. It was different directors, dude.
You could have brought back Snoke, and it would have been like, yeah, look, he's actually Darth Sidious. It's like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Like that would have been, if they did that, I think it would have saved a lot of face. But they're not doing that. They're just going to look like. You
think they're not doing that? Maybe that's who Sidious is. Now he'll have robotic legs, just like Darth Maul. And they can scissor together and be like clank, 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 clank.
Well, see, the thing is that, like, look, when it comes to the Knights of the Old Republic, right, as I said before, I would prefer it to be a show, not a movie.
Yeah.
That's how I would prefer it to be a show.
Or a multi-part movie, like the Star Wars universe itself. The trilogy. Because then that way, you can get more than... But then if you have a TV show, you can have about 24 episodes in a season, maybe 2 seasons if you're lucky.
No,
or it could go down the route of, or it could go down the route of fucking 24, not 24. Go down the route of Firefly and just be like shafted immediately.
Well, so the thing is that I don't want a 24-hour long series, like 24 episode. Well, it would be technically 24-hour long series, because how I see it is that. Well, you look at something like Arrow, for instance. Like
it did Kiefer Sutherland fine. They made multiple 24-hour seasons.
But the thing is, when it came to 24 hours, it was 24 hours. Each episode was an hour in that day, which made sense. Like it was their concept of the show, and it worked for what they wanted to go with, right?
Yeah.
You look at something like Arrow and Supernatural and stuff like that, they have like 20 to 24 episodes a season.
Did you hear that they finally killed Supernatural?
Yeah, they're finally getting rid of it. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Supernatural. I like Supernatural, but they've gone on way too long.
It was out when I was in middle of high school, man. I was in grade 10 when Supernatural was like first starting out. I remember watching the first episode of Supernatural playing fucking GTA 3 on my fucking PSP at the time. Shit.
Yeah.
So what was that?
It's old.
It's old, yeah, and they finally decided to kill it. Like,
well, they finally decided to end it for like have one more season and end it. Which, like, again, 15 seasons. Like, you know, it needed to end. It just needed to. Like, it's.
What more stuff did they start? I never watched the series. Did they start moving, into like Norse mythology and Asian mythology just to get the supernatural shit?
I personally can't tell you. I only watched up to.
I'm just going to assume that. I'm just going to assume that's what they did because there's only so much fucking.
Well, I have to admit, I only watched up to season 10, and I sort of stopped because it was like it's just so much, and they reused a lot of storylines, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like when you've got a series that goes for like 20 to 24 episodes long, right? Like it's just you're going to have so many filler episodes. It's not funny. You're better off sticking to a contained story of like 12 or 16 episodes, and it's perfect.
You know what they're going to do if they're going to do that? It's going to come back as a kids show like Clone Wars.
I hope not. I hope not. It's got to be a gritty sort of, not really an adult.
Yeah. Let's have fucking Disney release an R-rated Star Wars movie.
No, I'm not saying R-rated. No. I'm saying like something that's a little
like
more
where the lightsabers are actually useful. Like you get cut slightly and like your head explodes.
Yeah, no, not like that. No, I'm not talking about a Tarantino film. But then again though, they really should have fucking greenlit that Tarantino Star Trek movie. They should have. I'm saying that because it would have been badass, and he was gonna do the Borg too. Damn. But anyway, so. I think that's all we really talk about with that, but like that's my honest opinion. Like I personally want to see that more go as a show than a movie. But either way, like I think I'll probably have fun with it. So yeah, we'll go on to the next article. Pretty short one, I suppose. Because this is one probably a good one to talk about because a lot of actors have been getting into the esports scene recently. Well, not really recently, for the last 5 year, like a lot of.
What are you telling me? Like we've got fucking like Terry Crews playing Apex with his pecs?
No. Like actors and movie stars and stuff like investing in esports. Like they're like putting money into creating teams and stuff like that, and because
it's this generation's football, man.
Well, so you got Snoop Dogg, you got Shaq, you've got who else?
I think you got Ice-T as well.
LeBron James is doing is organizing one too. Who else? Was it another? There was one other group there was an actor that was really headlining. But this week, Will Smith's now come out and said he's investing in an esports organization called Gen G. So, which again, like, don't be wrong, it's good to see these actors and people in Hollywood and stuff like that, and hell, like big names recognize that like esports is it is a sport, really. Like it does, and they are kind of athletes when it comes to the amount of time and effort and patience and stuff like that they put into their work, and there's a reason why that they're pros, because they're mentally capable and physically capable of doing the things that they can do. So I'm very happy that I'm seeing you see more actors and stuff get into this sort of field. Actor Will Smith is among investors who raised a $46 million investment for Gen G, a global esports organization. Revealed in an official post from Gen G, this funding round includes contributions from Smith and Japanese soccer player I am not going to attempt reading that name. Kazuki, even though I did attempt to read it. Honda's Dreamers Fund. Dennis Wong, Michael Zeiser, and Dennis Roger. I say Roger. Along with New Enterprise Associates, NEA, Conductive Ventures, Battery Ventures, CAN Partners, SVB Capital, and Stanford University. Smith and Honda will join NBA star and Gen G player management advisor Chris Bosch in supporting Gen G's creative and commercial endeavors. I'm excited that the fund that I co-launched with Will Smith is now investing in Gen G, said Honda. Esports is not yet big in Japan, but actually that's not true. But we are seeing tremendous growth there and globally.
It's probably not as big as in Europe and America and stuff like that, and China and Taiwan. Like, you got to remember they've got to compete with idols and shit. It's a nation where they've idolized girls dancing around.
I'm sorry, but I do disagree with that because
you can disagree as much as you like. You're welcome to it.
Well, I'm going to make my point. It depends on the game.
You better want to make a point.
It depends on the game, right? Like, you look at something like Counter-Strike, it is mainly populated in Western countries and Europe, right? Then you look at something like, that's like mainly first-person shooter games, right? Then you look at something like your MOBAs, your MMOs and stuff like that, where it's primarily with Asian, like the Asian population. That's not a bad thing. That's it's still a really cool and good thing. But like, you look at like League, their top players are Japanese, South Korean, Chinese. They're all like of Asian nature. It's an Asian populated sport.
Yeah.
And
wow.
it depends on what game you actually play or what games you actually support or watch. See, for me, like, I do watch League tournaments every now and then. I think I watch the big one every year. That one I do watch. Then you've also got like your CS:GO tournaments, which is primarily Europeans. They're all pretty much European teams, and a handful of American teams, and one or two Australian teams that get in when they can. Then you've also, and sometimes you get some of the other Southeast Asia teams in there, but they never do as well. Seeing as though, and this is a good point, right? It's because we're we're so far away from like the Europeans, we're so far away from the Americans and stuff like that. So when it comes to practicing, when it comes to tournaments and stuff like that, we can't practice with these teams on a regular basis because, again, we're so far away, and it costs a lot of money for us to go and travel to Europe and travel to America and stuff like that to train. And that's why the Australian team, the Renegades from CS:GO, are living in America at the moment. They've got 2 American players, and the rest are Australian. And the thing is that the Australian captain said, what was it, 6 months ago, that America is where we need to be when it comes to, if we want to get a staple, if we want to start winning matches, if we want to start getting big in tournaments, and having our name being recognised. And he's not wrong. And you look at, again, when you look at something like League of Legends and Dota and Overwatch and stuff like that, where you've got primary, like an Asian audience, right? It's, it's mainly going to be populated and popular with that specific group of people. So, like, personally, like, I've got a friend of mine that went to Japan recently, and they've got esports promotions and stuff all in the cities and the towns and stuff like that. And like, it's big in Japan. It's not big with a lot of games. It's only really big with like specific niche games and niche markets. So yeah, like, it's I don't agree 100%. Like, no, they're not huge on esports, and neither is Australia or really America. But Europeans, on the other hand, it's massive. And in South Korea, it's massive. It's China, it's massive. It's just huge. It's skyrocketed so far, and it's become a big thing, like a really, really big thing. And some people are starting to notice and give it a bit of credit. And I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. So did my point, sort of convince you, or no?
No, you did.
Or you got or do you still have a counter? More than go ahead.
No. Like, I was just going from what I had known at the time, but my information's always old, so.
It's all right. It's just, yeah.
I know. I didn't know Japan was that big. I knew like Korea and Taiwan and Singapore and all that have like schools and that set up now.
Well,
Actual schools where you can go and learn to play as it.
Well, see, like,
but didn't know Japan was that big.
One good example is that the Japanese government actually, like as an assignment, you have to play and finish Portal. So gaming's huge in Japan. Like, yeah, esports is not as big over there as some other countries, yeah, obviously, but it is still relatively big there. Like, it's big enough to have an audience. So, like, it may not be a massive audience, but it's still a decent sized audience. So, but like, again, as I said, it's good to see a lot of big name actors and just a lot of big names in general come out, even on television programs and stuff like that, and even like sports stars even as well, like NFL stars and again, like basketball stars and stuff like that come out and admit and say themselves that this, like, esports is a physically intense thing. It is, like, people that are like, are gaming pros, are athletes. If you go and look at their day-to-day of what they do, how they practice, and go with the mental challenges, the physical challenges, and stuff like that, it is, a physically demanding sport, and it seems like a lot of people don't understand and don't see that. And it's good to see that it has come to light with that sort of aspect. I'm happy that esports is getting a lot more recognition, like the recognition it actually deserves. So, yeah, well, the only other articles to really talk about, there's, we'll kind of quickly just talk about Persona 5 The Royal was announced this week.
Oh, yeah?
That was the one that they've been announcing. They've been announcing, or sort of hinting at the fact for the last, last couple of weeks. I think we talked about it, I think it was last week or the week before about it. They were hinting at a new Persona game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, Persona 5 The Royal is pretty much just an updated version of Persona 5, but it has brought in a new character. It's brought in with its own, like a new sort of storyline, an extra storyline to go on top of that as well. So pretty much it's Persona 5 plus DLC, really. Like a better looking Persona 5 plus some DLC.
So it's like a remaster, sort of like definitive edition, essentially.
But yeah, but they did say in the article that it is a new experience to play. So if anybody that has played Persona 5, it will feel familiar, but they have brought in some new stuff to go with the story. So they're recommending a lot of people that did love and play Persona 5 to give it a try. So I thought I'd sort of throw that in there. So if anybody actually wants to go and have a look more into Persona 5 The Royal, go right ahead, because I know I probably will be. Even though I have not finished Persona 5, I really need to finish Persona 5. If only it was on PC. Freaking only. It's just such a great game. It is. But we'll go into our last thing now. With it seems like Tom Clancy's The Division. It seems like they might be doing, I think it might be a weekly thing or a monthly thing, where they do a clan spotlight. Now, I did have a bit of a giggle when I heard it, because like that's just such a like an old sort of name you'd have for a clan name. But it looks like they've got a couple of. It looks like they might have a couple of guys in this clan as well. But the clan spotlight this week is hardcore girl gamers. I find it a bit funny.
Jesus Christ.
I do find it a little funny. Like the name itself. I find it funny. But look, it's good to see that, you know, and personally it shows, you know, that, you know, it's, I don't know what I was gonna go with that, but yeah, well, it's good to see that the Division 2 has really kicked off a lot bigger than what a lot of people were planning on it to be.
Yeah. Well, and then you got people like Dan PH, you know, who spends most of his time harassing female streamers on Rainbow Six Siege. You know, if you read his messages, that's literally what he did. He made a big fuss because someone said "whoops" at the end of the match. He fucking lost their shit and he harassed them on Twitch, right? On Twitter. And I'm like, and then he's fucking talking about Trump, and I'm like, oh, here we go. This is what's up. Okay. And now he's like, so did you know that next month is exactly when Division 1 died? And that's about the time Division 2's dying. And I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah, righto. It's not like the Division 2 has gained like huge fan base compared to the first.
I personally have moved on from the game myself. I don't like playing it until the raid comes out. At the moment, there's just nothing to fucking.
Well, at the moment, I'm not even prepared for the raid. I'm not even prepared.
No, I'm prepared for the raid, but I'm just not interested in what's going on.
Actually, seeing as though you've been again playing it more than I have, the gear sets.
I don't know, man. I've played it twice. Oh, the gear sets are absolute shit. Don't even worry about them.
The gear sets are shit.
Yeah, they're shit. Don't worry about them. Literally, just don't worry about them. Like, literally, look them up. Watch a video later on from Arix Gaming. Have a look at the gear sets. They're just absolute shit. They're lackluster. They're not like Division.
Shit.
There's one where you can get elemental ammo. You literally have to swap out every gun you have. You kill a guy with your assault rifle, your pistol or SMG will get it. So you switch to your SMG, use the ammo, and your pistol might get it. So you switch to your pistol. You shoot the ammo. You switch to your AR. You know, your DPS is going down just for the shock or fire ammo. This is what happens when they have to balance everything out from the shit show that was Division 1.
But personally, I think that it shows they're trying. In my opinion, it shows they're trying their best, and it shows too, because otherwise people would have left by now. At this point.
Well, the thing is, we wouldn't know if they've left because there's no way to fucking track the player base.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly. And when I logged on the other day, there was no one in the fucking safe houses. And normally that shit is brimming with people. No one. Now, you could say because the PTS is active right now, but everyone was interested in the PTS, which has mainly Dark Zone changes. Really?
Then again, I think a lot of people would be interested in the Dark Zone changes because a lot of people haven't been going in the Dark Zone because a lot of people have been complaining about how...
Yeah, but like 90% of the player base suddenly just stops playing the main game to test the beta.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seems weird to me.
They test the new patch, yeah.
It's 90% of the player base, like... Well, yeah, instead of there being tons of people in the servers, yeah, at prime time, Australian time, you know, midday, right? Our time.
Yeah.
So that on a holiday, Easter holidays, dude, no one's fucking playing. They're all playing PTS. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Like, it was good while it was lasted, and I'm just feel sorry that my dad's got it for my birthday and spent like $160 buying this fucking game.
No, I'm happy I bought it. I've just got to play it more. I just so many, like, DayZ's taking up most of my time.
I don't know how. That game's not like it's got like an engrossing storyline.
It doesn't matter.
Or characters.
Mate, it's better than fucking what it was when it came out. Like, I'm not joking.
Do you still break your ankle?
No.
If you walk downstairs?
No. They took that feature out entirely.
Thank fucking Christ. I uninstalled the game when I played the standalone. When I think I actually own it. Check.
Well, see,
I ditched it as soon as I broke my ankle, and I'm like, fuck that.
Well, see, no, like I do disagree because back when the game came out, right, it was an abysmal mess. It was.
I have DayZ.
Like it was a bit of a abysmal mess when it came out. Right, I'm not gonna lie, it was. There was a reason why I refused to play it for ages. Then what was it? 4 patches later came out. And it was like, oh no, the game's really good now. I'm like, okay, I'll give it another go. Me and my mate jumped on, and it's like, nah, it's still shit. Like, still so many problems. Nothing's been fucking fixed. It's still the same.
I'm not kidding. I bailed out after playing 116 minutes on the 12th of the 2nd, 2016 for DayZ.
Yeah. Well, see, but then when 6.3 dropped, a lot of people were saying they're going in the right direction. They've now gone in the right direction. That was last year when they brought 6.3. I thought it was 6.0 or something like that. And everybody was saying that the game is a lot more polished. It's like they've changed a lot of the graphics. The graphics look beautiful now. They've got the cars now. You know, like it's a lot easier to find loot, and it's not. You know, it doesn't feel like a fucking chore. It doesn't really feel like a walking simulator anymore. They don't have the stupid features of I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm this, and like it's just they don't have any of that anymore, which is good. And
my pussy hurts.
Jesus Christ. And then and then 1.0 came out. So when they went into beta, that's when a lot of people have been saying, yeah, they're definitely on the right track now. They just need to sort of speed it up a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it from us, I suppose. Not much really else to talk about. This week I will definitely be pushing to play some fucking Days Gone. So I've got. I was
going to say play some DayZ. That's more likely what's going to happen. You're going to be pushing to play DayZ. You'll sit down with your game, right? You haven't got it yet. You'll unbox it. You'll be like me. Oh yeah, fucking Dead Space 2 came out. You know, the one with the fucking, the light up pistol thing that came out. Mine was dead when it came out of the box. So I threw that shit out. But anyway, that sat on my desk for a fucking week. I was excited to pick it up. Once I picked it up, I couldn't be fucked playing it.
Oh, what was that? I didn't buy it. Well, then what do I have in my hand? I bought it.
I can't see. I can't see. Huh? I can't see. Didn't go. Come on. Huh?
All right. Hang on.
Oh yeah. You can't do that because it's actually your dick in your hand, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Is that right? Is that right? Is it? All right. Hang on. Yep. Hang on. Just take a photo. Hang on. No. That's a fucking messy keyboard. Hang on. I'll take a photo of myself, but I just got me head shaved, and now I've still got a freaking massive freaking hobo beard. See, that was the camera clicking. There you go, just to prove it. I just took the photo.
I don't believe you put a spoon on your head.
I'm putting it in the general of the P5'S Discord, which everybody should join if they want to fucking keep up to date with everything. There you go.
That's fake news. That's fake news. Fake news. That's actually just a regular game. You pulled the case out, and then you downloaded the cover art.
Kiss me ass.
Rather not.
All right.
Anyway, wasn't the advertisement for that where you like this is like a horde of zombies running at you?
Yes.
And you gotta kite them.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I reckon it looked pretty badass and intense. So I'm actually.
You know what looks good at the moment? World War Z on Epic.
Yes, I am planning on buying that.
It's exactly. Well, let me know when you do, and I'll buy it. It's exactly like a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. They even have a pouncing enemy, exactly like that. And it screams Left 4 Dead 2, but it screams third person and Division, which is, I don't know, like I like it. I saw a streamer play it, and I'm like, I like this.
It looks good.
I really like this.
It definitely looks good. I'm actually very much wanting to play it. And if I do play it, and when I do buy it, when you do buy it, we'll sit down and we'll stream it together, and we can probably make it our first sort of like P5'S stream. like gaming
Ooh.
stream. We can probably sit down and play some games. Pretty good. So, yes, all right then. Next week, we're back on Thursday at 6. Thursday at 6, not Friday, but Thursday. We'll be back Thursday.
Do you want to check your calendar to make sure that's actually a free day? You don't want to make the same mistake.
It should be a free day. It should
Siri,
be a free day.
Am I free next Thursday?
I didn't find any appointments for Thursday.
Well, I guess I'm free.
You guess you're free? Okay. All right then. All right. We're back Thursday, everyone. Next week, and it'll be another subpar podcast. All right.
To the whole three people watching.
I hope you all had a good Easter on the weekend as well, and we'll catch us all next weekend. Well, next Thursday. Fuck. Catch you all next week. Take it easy.
See ya.